cry. 'Cause when you try to see the problem, that means you figured. And you can say that I'm crazy, that you're thinking already, but I'm telling you, baby, get up and get out. Get up and get out. Yeah. And you can say that I'm crazy, that you're thinking already, but I'm telling you, baby. And you can say that I'm crazy, that you're thinking already.
And now it's time to get unmasked. Please welcome your host, Pamela Elaine Nichols and Cheryl A.S. Haley.
Well, hello, everyone.
Hello.
Unmasked Real Talk Live. This is the place where you can get real and we can get real with you about topics that are not often discussed openly. As you know, each week on Unmasked Real Talk Live, we give you an opportunity to share your thoughts and opinions about the topic we unmasked. You have our permission to get real with us here so you can feel better, look better, and live better out there. Of course, stay until the end and be eligible for a special raffle. Today's raffle is the famous little book written in 1926 called It Works. Famous little red book that makes your dream come true. If you know what you want, you can have it. Oh, I love this book. Love it. Okay. Every week, we do a challenge based on the topic of the show. Last week's challenge was celebrating authentic friendships. Each day, well, I can't say each day, but we did try each day to provide a tip that challenged you to be an authentic friend or cultivate a relationship to create authenticity. Now, ladies, again, you got real, and Cheryl and I do appreciate your participation in the challenge. Great job. We really want to engage you in our weekly challenges so you can grow, you can feel better, look better, and live better. But we are going to shift our weekly focus just a bit because we want to increase your engagement in what we do. So our new weekly challenges will be based on the theme of the show, okay? But we're going to mix it up a little bit and try this. And we want to see if this new way of doing the weekly challenge is something that you like better. And if you don't, you tell us, like, I don't like this. Can you come up with something else? And we will. So we have a few different things for each day. So Testify Monday Motivational Challenge for Monday. Feel Better Tenacious Tuesday. Drop Some Wisdom Wednesday. Triumphant Tuesday Challenge. Face Your Fear Friday. Live Better Satisfying Saturday. And Celebrate Yourself Sunday. Okay, so I don't know. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Does it sound fun? Does it sound boring? Or does it sound really complicated? We want to hear from you because there is no reason to do a challenge if it's just not something you want to engage in. So please share with us feedback. We want to know. We're going to try it. And if nobody is participating, then we know we need to tweak it or just start calling you out. Hey, Danielle. Hey, Juanetta. Hey, Jane. Laverne, what's going on? So anyway, our new theme-based challenge starts today, Tuesday. and ends next Monday. Today, as I said, is Feel Better Tenacious Tuesday. So, tenacious means determined or not easily giving up. So, in the spirit of authenticity, what are you determined not to give up on? Is it a career of your dreams, a better marriage, praying for your child to return back to his or her faith, complete healing for your body, more money than you can spend in a lifetime? That's the one I'm not going to give up on. I'm going to be tenacious about that one. We want you to participate by sharing your experience with this week's theme in our members only Facebook group. Lastly, another small change we want to announce. Previously, this show was only viewable in our private Facebook group, Live Better, Look Better, Live Better, the 3 times better. Now, this show and future shows will be viewed by the public. However, our 3 times better Facebook group will remain private. So if you're in the private Facebook group, then you don't have to worry about anyone seeing your information. All right. Last but not least, post your comments below as Cheryl and I unmask our topic for today. Ask your questions so we can laser coach you as we go along, which is what we love to do. All right, Cheryl.
Absolutely, absolutely. Again, good afternoon, our sisters. We are so glad for this time to come together again. Last week, we introduced the topic, authentic versus fake friendships. It went over so well. We did not have enough time. Guess what? We're going to do part 2 on today. Now, there's a quote by Brene Brown that says, authenticity is a collection of choices that we have to make every day. It's about the choice to show up and be real, the choice to be honest, the choice to let our true selves be seen. Now, as always, we like to give you a relevant fact before we go into dialogue. So, we want to share some information with you. Now, when you think about your authentic self, is who you are as a person, regardless of your occupation or the influences of others. It is an honest representation of you. To be authentic does not mean you don't care what others think about you. It's natural. Trust me, it's natural to care about what others think. You are a human being with emotions, you have concerns, and you have a need for community and inclusion. However, you do not allow what others think about you to control you or the decisions you make on behalf of being your authentic self. Now, to be authentic is to be true to yourself through your thoughts, through your words, and your actions. And that's one of the things that we really wanted to unpack last week with the challenges. It means being able to detach from any relationship, situation, or circumstance that diverges from your truth. For example, if you're in a job, relationship, or friendship that diminishes who you are or forces you to behave differently from who you are, you need to let it go. I could tell you 4 years ago, I had to let a job go. This is easier said than done, however. Defining your authentic self can be difficult because you don't have just one self. There are multiple versions of who you are. There's a self that you are at work. There's a self of who you are with your best friend, the self you are when you are by yourself. These invented selves are usual, and it's something we all do to some degree. Authenticity, however, is not about expressing your opinions constantly without filters. Being authentic isn't just about being honest. It is also being self-aware, being humble, and taking feedback from others. It's about answering the question, who am I? Last week, we opened up this conversation, which was hot. This is why we're continuing the discussion. Let's pick up where we left off and go a little bit deeper into the conversation with our unmasked question. And we're going to jump right into this question because, as I said, we're just picking up. How did you, our sisters, deal with a fake friendship? How did you deal with that friendship? You could talk to us in the chat because, Pam and I, we're going to go in. If you come in this community every single week, you already know, we take the unmasking off so that we can be real out there, because a lot of times when we think about it, all of us at some point have dealt with the lack of authenticity. And because we're moving into becoming our true selves, it's like a level of liberation that you can't even put words to it. So Pam, anything you want to share with our audience? Because I can just keep going and going and going.
Yeah, no, keep. I love what you said about how we are different versions,
Yeah.
of work, who we are at work, we are at home, who we are with our friends, our loved ones. And then I was thinking, who are we
Yeah.
when we are just with ourselves?
Mm.
Who are we when we are alone and there's nobody else to talk to interact with, to pretend with? It's just you and you by yourself. That really, I think, is the beginning of understanding who you are authentically. Now, to get to the question about how did you deal with a fake friendship, I
Mhm.
think last week, I feel like I share this story so many times, I get lost in what I say when I said it. But I talked about, my
Yeah.
friend
Yeah.
who, Paula, called her name out.
Keeping it real. Keeping it
Keeping it
real.
real. And how that was just a devastating experience for me, how she just dejected me, and then for me to come to realize that she really wasn't a friend. And so how I dealt with it was I held it in,
Mm.
and I made myself the person who could never I made myself feel like the person who could never really have true friendships. That
Mhm.
I always felt on guard with friends. Like, we're friends, but I don't know. She might change on me too. She might switch up on me too. So I always found myself not fully opening up my heart,
Mhm.
not fully giving of myself, holding back some,
Mhm.
just in case that person's gonna do the same thing that Paula did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I did.
Yeah. And Pam, as I listened to you, one of the things, and we talked about it, we just touched the tip of it last week, how being wounded by a friend that you trusted, and you found that you couldn't, creates just that, those trust issues. That those trust issues, they spill over in every area of your life, because
Mhm,
you feel like I can't trust people. I feel like I
mhm,
can't trust them. And when you talk about something that's so real, about how you withdrew, or you found yourself guarded in different circles, and what happens is that people don't get to see who the real you are, because you're walking in a guarded position. And how many of us, if we were asked, if we could see you and we would ask you to raise your hands, how many of you could relate that you've done just that? I know I could raise my hand and do that,
yeah,
because
yeah,
what happens is, like, everybody has a basic need or tendency or desire to be accepted. And when you feel as though it's questionable, where you're not going to expose all of you when you come into a group because of hesitation or reservations. But when we think about it, are people really getting to see who you are? No.
well, I'm a go either. I want to know if I can go even deeper, if I
Go
can
more.
unmask
Go deeper.
even more.
Go deep. Go deeper.
I might get into so much trouble on this one.
Don't want to get in trouble.
Okay, so Paula
Mm-hmm.
was very fair skinned, long, beautiful braids.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the person she faked out on me with was also light skin with the long braids, blow hair. So I went through my life after that fakeness and that breakup of that friendship, never trusting anyone with light skin and blow hair.
Wow.
They were the untrusted. You cannot trust them because they will betray you. And that's how I felt about every person that I would meet who looked like anything close to what Paula and the other girl looked like. I would definitely feel like, "Mm-mm, nope, no." And then I got a friend. I became friends with someone who looked like the who was the light skin, blow hair, and I was like, she's such a nice person. I know she's the devil in disguise. So I didn't want to become close friends with her, and I was guarded for a long time until I dealt with my Paula issues, and she and I are very good friends to this day. But I promise you, I had a hard time. And
Mm-hmm.
then on top of that, not trusting the light skin blow hair
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
was me feeling like I can't be a friend because I'm dark skinned and my hair is kinky. That
Mm-hmm.
I'm really not capable of being a good friend to anybody because of how I look. I mean, it just totally messed me up. And I hope I'm not the only person here who was really messed up about my sense of self from that fake friendship. Oh,
Wow.
I just went there.
You know, you
I
just
just
went
went
there,
there.
but you
I
just
did.
unpacked something for your sister. Here you are. For those of you who don't know, Pam's born and raised in LA, and I'm here right here in the city of Philadelphia, born and raised. As I listen to you share that story, Pam, and that's why it's so important that when we unmask what comes up for us, things that we don't even know that's deeply buried. I had an experience because you see my shade, little brown skin, but I had long hair. And I had
Oh.
problems with some kids in school. And I'm starting to think, was it because they might have had an experience with someone and they looked at me and said, oh, she has. I'm like
Mhm,
sitting here like,
mhm,
because I'm like, I try to be not, and even to this day, I try to be that person that tries to be a friend to everyone, but everybody that you encounter is not always going to embrace you. And I'm thinking, well, is that what was going on with them? And I had no
mhm,
idea because what
mhm,
you pointed out is so key, and I
mhm,
applaud you for your vulnerability. It's those type of experiences that we don't talk about or we don't share. But again, here on the other side of it, the stigma was like, I got to a point that I wanted to get my hair cut, and I remember cutting my hair. I had a bush.
Oh.
I cut my bush, and I think about even now I'm wearing.
Mhm,
But I'm thinking about, is this stigma from being a child, having that experience with those
mhm, mhm,
fake friends
mhm,
and not realizing that, well,
mhm,
this is who I am. That's why
mhm,
it's so important, ladies, in our community that you embrace with the fullness who you are and not
mhm,
be defined by society, somebody who
mm.
likes. Because how many times we might play the role of chameleon, trying to fit into various circles? Well, I put this hat on today, and they'll like me, and I
Yes.
put this hat on tomorrow that they'll like me, and I'm going to this group, so I'll
Yeah.
put this hat on. How we
Yeah.
do that and how much stress that creates for us, you know,
Yeah.
that's amazing that you said that, but that came up.
Yeah. I mean, I just had to get real with it because I
Yeah.
do. I am a believer that freedom comes
Mm-hmm.
from being true about what you feel,
Yes.
about what you've experienced. And feel doesn't mean it's good or bad. It's just you
That's right.
you feel what you feel.
Yeah.
And it's okay. It's what you do with those feelings that
Yeah.
then may become an issue for you.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you must deal with what you feel, what has happened to you, the trauma behind what has happened to you in order to find freedom. And it was only when I dealt with
Yeah.
that experience of her being fake
Mm-hmm.
that I started freeing myself to show up as my authentic self and
Mm-hmm.
to be comfortable in my dark skin
Yeah.
and my kinky hair. All right. I mean, and to be able to be friends with people who would love me because of who I am, no matter what I look like.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so yeah, yeah. So that was my experience. We would really love to hear more from you
Yeah.
ladies who are listening and watching. What are your thoughts? What are your feelings? And maybe sure we should
Yeah.
move on to give them some takeaways because I know we're short for time. We only got 10 minutes left. Happens so fast while
We
we wait
count
for them
every
to
minute. We
respond.
got 11. We got 11.
Got 11 minutes. Got 11 minutes. That goes fast.
But you know what? Someone did put in there. I determined not to give up on my health, and I wanted to
Oh,
ask them just to expound a little bit more about that because that's key. Like, and I don't want
yeah.
to assume, but what I'm feeling is that because of what you experienced, did it create health challenges for you?
Mm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah, that's a good question. That's a good question. I'm happy to hear
yeah.
that
Mm-hmm.
they're determined not to give up on their health. And then definitely you want people to stand with you, your
Mm-hmm.
authentic friends,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
to stand with you in agreement that you're
Yes.
going to be tenacious about good health.
Yes.
Um, for
Yeah.
sure. So Cheryl, is there something you're going to be you want to be tenacious about?
I want to be tenacious about being my true authentic self. And for those in our community, and Pam knows very well, and I'll save it for a later date, but I had a health crisis and it could have been a health crisis, could have had a different outcome. And just having going full circle with some things, it's like, you know what? Every day that we get an opportunity to wake up and live, I want to live the best life possible that I can, being the best version of who I am, not defined by somebody else's likes or dislikes. And that was a shift for me. So I would say that if there was some residual there, the residual just got pumped, like it just got kicked to the curb. And that's something that is major for me. It's major because, as I said, I always want to try to kind of go along, but at this point, it's like, Cheryl, you gotta stay true to you.
Well, I'm gonna be tenacious about. I'm not gonna give up on finding my true love. I'm not gonna give up on that.
And I'm dancing at the wedding. I'm dancing at the wedding, okay?
I am gonna be tenacious about being available to my perfect, imperfectly perfect partner wherever he is in the world. And I'm not gonna give up on that, no matter what. Okay.
That's right.
I'm gonna wait.
That's
and I'm
right.
going to make sure that I'm going to be my authentic self
Come
so
on,
that when
girlfriend.
he comes, I'm not pretending. I'm not trying to be somebody that I'm not. I'm not trying to do whatever he wants just to keep him or hold on to him. No.
You're going to be your authentic self.
I'm going to be my authentic self. Okay. So we have some comments here.
Yep. The comments.
So I'll read this one. I believe I felt that because I was light-skinned with long hair and heavier, I was mistreated. Ooh, so the reverse here. See how that is? So I'm wishing I were the light skin with the long hair, and she's the light skin with the long hair and being mistreated. It's just really interesting how the stories that we come up with about our experiences. And so I would ask this person who says this, did that affect your friendships with other people? Especially because you're saying the heavier too, because there's a couple of things mixed in there: the light skin, the long hair, and the heavier, that you were mistreated. What was that the case because you were heavy too, or what? She must have gone to school with some dark skinned people. Because I went to school with all light skin, blow hair, girls. I'm interested. Okay, what about the other? So maybe she can respond before we have to give up.
Right. This is part 2 to that same response.
Oh, okay.
I struggle with my weight and need to be more aware of my diet that attributes to other health issues. And what happens is how we internalize things. And that's what it sounds like because of the mistreatment, how it was internalized and it had an impact on the weight struggles. But what we do applaud you for, Shara, is that she said, I am aware, I'm working on, and I am not giving up. And don't give up. Don't give up. And we are here to support you. Do not give up. Yes.
So let me offer something to this person. Thank you for being so authentic here too.
Yes.
So awareness is step 1, and it looks like you are there. You have accomplished step 1. Check. Yay. Step 2 is to actually do something about it. Yes. What is that thing you are doing, the action step that you're taking so that your weight is not a problem and the health that comes from being overweight is not a problem? It's really the action step. And what are the authentic action steps that you can take to minimize the impact of your weight on your health? That would be, and here's the thing, this is why I say authentic, and I see the time. Oh, I know Kayla, our producer's like, girls, wrap it up. But I gotta say this. Here's the thing, being authentic with your struggle is sometimes we do the things that other people tell us to do, and we don't find what is the authentic steps I need to take for myself that work for me to deal with my weight issues. This is what we want to help you nail down. What works for you, my sister, not what works for Mary, your cousin, your sister, and the people you see up on Facebook and Instagram. No, what works for you. Okay, takeaways.
Yeah, let's get to those takeaways. Yes. Our first takeaway is to celebrate authentic friendships is authenticity. To find a true friend, be a true friend.
Yes, that's nice.
That goes without saying. To find a true friend, be a true friend.
All right, and number 2. is
Mhm.
acceptance. We all want to be appreciated for the value we offer to others. We too must be willing to accept the differences of others as well. And I would add to accept the differences even in yourself. Number
Yes.
three, Cheryl.
Yeah. Number three is test trust.
Mm.
Trust is essential to building connections and authentic relationships. Without it, you don't feel comfortable enough to be yourself, which can create barriers to truthful or genuine connections. But if you don't have to give away trust immediately,
I
test
do
it
not.
to see if the person is trustworthy.
Yes,
Yeah,
nice. Okay.
yeah, yeah.
So we see that the person responded, I'm cooking my meals at home instead of eating out and walking more, which is great if that works for you. So in a month's time, if
Hmm.
that's not working for you, that's not your authentic call to better health, is what I would say. And we would love for you to, yeah, follow up with us and let us know if that's working for
Yeah,
you. Okay,
absolutely.
raffle time.
Yes.
Raffle time. Okay, let's do it. Today's raffle is a little book that we said.
Yeah,
Here's a
a
little
little
book, how
bit.
it works.
A little bit,
Blah,
but
blah, blah. It works. The famous little red book that makes your dreams come true.
yes.
Oh, yay!
Congratulations, Diane.
I believe Diane is maybe a new listener.
She's a new listener. I have her contact information. How wonderful.
Yay!
Yay.
Okay, so we will ship this out to you,
Yeah.
Danielle. I'm sorry, Diane. Um, and just give us your address.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay, PM your address to us. Okay, great. All right. So let's wrap this up.
Yeah.
Remember, today's challenge for is to feel better tenacious Tuesday. Tenacious means determined, not easily giving up. In a spirit of authenticity, what are you determined to not give up on? Please post it as a video or a comment or an image in our Facebook, private Facebook group, and we will see you tomorrow. No, next week. Not tomorrow.
Next Tuesday.
Next
Next
Tuesday. Bye
Tuesday. Bye-bye.
bye.
Have a
And you can say that I'm crazy,